Aloha and welcome to the Zane Schweitzer Morning Show, broadcasting live from the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club in the United Arab Emirates. I'm your host, Rocky Cannon. I got Zane Schweitzer alongside me here and also Ian Vaj. And we're going to show you some highlights from yesterday, day number 2, the final day of the first annual Abu Dhabi All-Stars Invitational from Wadi Adventure.
Aloha. Aloha and welcome back to the Abu Dhabi All-Stars Invitational presented by Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, UAE SUP and Wadi Adventure Park. So after an intense battle in the sudden death round, it was Bo Nixon who came out on top with an incredible 8.23 ride, boosting him through back into the quarterfinals.
Oh, it's insane out here in Abu Dhabi. I mean, surfing in a wave pool in the middle of a desert, like who would have thought? So it's sick and the format's amazing. Everyone gets to surf a bunch of times, so it's really good. Looking forward to next year.
In second place in the sudden death round and also advancing, the local resident here in Abu Dhabi, Kieran Taylor. So we had an incredible quarterfinal showdown with Jan Vaj continuing his devastating form to make it through to the semi-finals. Also on great form here in Abu Dhabi, Cody Kerbox moving through to the semi-finals.
Went good, yeah, I had a lot of fun. Felt better than my performance yesterday, so really stoked. Learned a lot, and yeah, just Lecco's an amazing surfer, so yeah, can't believe just stoked to make it through.
And the dark horse Remy Keek, he hasn't been to many events the last year or so, but coming back in full force here in Abu Dhabi, making it through to the semi-finals. And finally, the wild man from Maui, Zane Schweitzer, putting on another incredible display of performance surfing, moving on to the semi-finals. So despite another amazing performance by Cody Kerbox, it wasn't enough to take down Ian Vaj, who moves through to the finals. Semi-final 2, Remy Keek keeps on his consistency and flow, but it wasn't enough as the wild man from Maui once again puts on a performance to remember, moving him on to the finals. So after some great surfing from the women, a battle between Olivia Piana from France and Caroline Angibault ended up with Caroline coming out on top.
Really happy. It was really close. Olivia was surfing well also, and then also in the final. So I'm really happy because the waves are really my part. I know that tomorrow going to be completely different for me. So yeah, I'm happy.
And congratulations, Zane. And I'm very happy, I think. So happy as I would want it, because it's always good to be second, and the next time you can come and win it.
Everyone, dude. Everyone killed it, dude. This is the world's best right here. Abu Dhabi, baby. Oh yeah.
So congratulations goes out to our champion from Maui, Zane Schweitzer, storming to victory here at the inaugural Abu Dhabi All-Stars Invitational presented by Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, UAE SUP and Wadi Adventure. But it's not over yet, as we have the Abu Dhabi All-Stars Sprints taking place tomorrow in town in Abu Dhabi. So stay tuned to standupworldtour.com for the live feed, and we'll see you there. Aloha.
All right, and we're back live at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club here in the United Arab Emirates. And joining me on the Zane Schweitzer Morning Show is Ian Vaz. You were the runner-up yesterday, and talk a little bit about the fun in the wave pool in the final, surfing at nighttime.
I'm having so much fun here. Like surfing a wave pool is like awesome, because it's always the same wave. So if you lose it or if you do the wrong maneuver, you can have like a second perfect chance, like the same wave, and you say, okay, now I'm doing it. So I guess it was like one of the best events for me. I got in the final with Zane, and he was ripping all events, so I was glad to be in the final with him. And I'm having a great time.
And you were ripping too, man, all the way to the final. You were right there. You could have easily won yourself. So great job and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And Mr. Zane Schweitzer, this is your morning show, and last night it was your evening show at the Wadi Adventure. You were shredding, bro. How did that feel to win that event?
Oh, it was just, I guess, you know, it was an honor to be here at the Wadi Adventure and Wave Pool. I mean, it's the perfect playground for us to just display, you know, epic high-performance style-piling maneuvers. And we had the world's best here to, you know, showcase their best maneuvers. And like Ian said, you know, you have the opportunity to really actually, you know, visualize what you want to do and execute it. And you have 3 chances. And then from the quarters to the finals, we had 3 rights and then 3 lefts and then 3 closeout rights. So it was just, you know, a killer venue. And I mean, this is the future. It's unreal.
Yeah, and much mahalo to the Wadi Adventure crew. And now today, we are at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club. We're back in Abu Dhabi. We had to travel a couple of hours to get to the wave pool. But now we're back in the city, and we're actually at a beach where we're doing some races today. And as you can see, the flags are blowing pretty hard out there. You can see a lot of what looks like fog is actually little bits of sand. We're in the desert, so there's a lot of sand blowing around. How are you guys feeling for some paddling in this wind, Ian?
Yeah, I'm not very good at race, so there's not gonna be too much problem for me. But it's very hard because you like breathe a lot of sand, and it feels like strange, and a lot of sand in your mouth and in your eyes. So it's okay for me. It's a lot of wind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna paddle for fun.
Yeah.
And see what's going on.
And Zane, you know, you're from Maui, and you got some windy conditions there. You've been on the beach getting whipped by sand before, down at places like Ho'okipa and stuff. But for the locals, this is, you know, pretty average. They're not really fazed by this. But what's your take on what's happening outside right now?
Well, I mean, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. I mean, I've sat over at Onioloa Bear, Ho'okipa, and had it 30 knots blowing in our face. But you know, this is a whole other story. Like Ian was saying earlier, it's almost like raining sand. It just looks like thick fog, but you know, it's sand. It's ancient, tiny grains of rock that you're just inhaling. But I mean, yeah, like you said, this isn't bad compared to what, as you can see, you got Daniel Hughes, he's got his face mask on. A lot of the competitors are going to be using those because we're not going to want to destroy our lungs exercising and paddling hard, you know?
Yeah, and you can see the Abu Dhabi skyline, the city line in the distance, and that stretch of coast right there is called the Corniche here in Abu Dhabi. Very popular destination for locals and visitors to come and enjoy this lovely saltwater ocean venue that we have here. It's kind of a little channel right here. We saw some jet skiers going pretty fast by. The police had to round them up and send them out, so it was safer for our paddling races. But there you see some of the things to enjoy in the wind that's blowing right now. People are still making the best of it. Nobody's hiding from the sand. They're not hiding from the wind. They're using it, and they're outside enjoying. So that's what we're all doing here out on the beaches. We're gonna have some races, some professional races. We got some amateur races. Some of the locals are getting involved, and it's really cool to see the sport of stand-up paddling really grow to expand and travel somewhere like the Middle East. Have you ever been to the Middle East before, Ian?
No. I never thought I'm coming here.
Yeah, it's quite an experience. And Zane, I'm assuming it's your first time here too.
It is. I've had a few delays in Dubai airport on my way to the Starboard factory in Thailand. but this is my first time to really experience the culture and, you know, the beautiful country here. And I'm just grateful to have a cool perspective on the Middle East and meet so much awesome people. You know, everyone has so much aloha here. And yeah, I mean, look, there's windsurfers out there having fun. We're about to go do this race. I mean, first of its kind for an inflatable 12.6 race, and also first of its kind for a world-class surfing event and wave pool. So I mean, we're making history here with the Waterman League. It's really fun. Honored to be a part of it.
It's definitely a historical time right now for the sport of stand-up paddling and for stand-up paddle surfing. We talked a little bit about the level playing field that has been created by this trip to the Middle East, not only in the surfing, because everybody's surfing the same wave, and you talked about earlier about you having the wave to look at, and then you can realize what you did wrong or what you need to do better. And I saw even in the wave pool, it was cool because after every wave, your brother was filming, and you got to go look at your video. How was that?
That's perfect, because like I just got my wave and come out, and then he said, look, example of the final, he said like, oh, Zane got a good wave, but yours was almost there. Look, you just gotta do this turn a little bit stronger, and then you have to do like 3 turns on this wave, and then okay, and then we look Zane waves, and then we could like imagine, like really imagine, because your wave would be the same. So it's like perfect. And having my brother there like, go, you have to do this, it's like awesome.
It's really good for coaching. I think you can ride the wave, come in, look at what you did, and then go right back out and catch your next wave and try to apply what you've just learned in a few minutes. And not only with the surfing and the wave pool, having that level playing field and a similar platform for everyone to use, but now in this race, everybody's going to be using inflatable boards, all the same type of boards. That also contributes to the consistency of the sport, which I think is a big deal. What do you think about that, Zane?
Oh, I mean, 100%. This is going to show the overall best of, you know, surfing and racing. I mean, we're all out on 12.6 inflatable boards.
Right.
These are boards that any average person are using. I mean, you could roll it up, put it on your back, and jump on the airplane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd say, you know, this is an unreal event. So this needed to happen, and I'm glad it's happening here at the Waterman League, because, you know, the world's best are here, and we're going to be able to set an example for a lot of other people to do things like this. It makes it so much easier for athletes to be able to travel, you know, with an inflatable. And so in the future, I definitely see more, you know, all inflatable races coming because of the you know, it's fair.
Yeah.
You know, it's really going to show who's the best.
Yeah.
Like you were telling me earlier, it's almost like a billiards player, you know, everyone playing billiards with the same pool stick.
Yeah. Yeah, it really levels out the playing field, and you can determine who is the best. Well, we're going to wrap it up for now, and we're going to show you some beautiful footage of just everything that we've been experiencing here in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. But we'll be right back after a few minutes, and stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Aloha. All right, aloha, and we are back at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, live here in the United Arab Emirates on race day. It's Saturday here in Abu Dhabi, and I'm Rocky Cannon, your host, and I'm joined by Tim. Tim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, it's quite the conditions we have out here today. Pretty windy, some sand blowing around. How often do you guys see these types of conditions?
Well, this is really bad luck because usually this time of the year it's sky clear and good 40 degrees Celsius of temperature, and today it's a bit unfortunate. Today I was training, I was flying, and we had to stop all the training because we couldn't...
the visibility.
Yeah, we couldn't do, because the jet fighter is too fast, and we couldn't do our exercise correctly, so we had to stop everything today. So,
well, one thing you'll learn with the Stand Up World Tour is that we are very used to all kinds of challenges. We have weather challenges, baggage challenges, flight patterns, all the above, so we are pretty much ready for anything. It's going to take an act of God to stop us from doing what we do. So
I call that flexibility, you know,
yeah,
and you
definitely
need flexibility, huh, when you do your job like this. And I think it's
sure.
very nice, and this shows as well to the people the motivation and the discipline, and we really appreciate that from you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you
Thank you very
also
much.
for
It's good.
all of your hospitality.
No
We'd
problem.
also like to thank UAE SUP and Surf. That
Thank
is
you.
your organization, and
Yes.
a very, very fine job you guys do here. And also, of course, the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, where we're broadcasting live from today. And some of the beach shots that you're seeing are it's at a place called Corniche, and it's a very popular destination. Yeah?
Exactly. I mean, all this place we are in, actually, it's man-hand reclaimed land. So it's all artificial. Actually, it's not real land. And all this building you see outside is skyscraper. They're still the same thing. All these beaches are all artificial, and everybody likes it because you're in the city. You have that. You can come, stand up paddle, sailing, diving, whatever you like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really I can say comfortable for the people who are living in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, it's really a good mix of urban city life with the beach culture.
Exactly, and I think it's necessary to have that when you're living on the seashore, to have such a thing, because it makes the people more relaxed and enjoying the life, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't find a lot of places in the world that you have something like that. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, especially in the Arabic country where usually they build hotels, 5-star hotels everywhere, and all the beaches are just gone for the private hotels. But
Right.
here, the government did something great. You have like 10 kilometers of artificial beach, and you can just use it.
Yeah, and it's all for the public use.
All for the public
all for
use.
everybody. And
Yeah.
and talk about stand-up paddling here in the United Arab Emirates and just in this region in general. It's pretty brand new, but you guys have been seeing a lot of growth lately.
Yes, since we started the Waterman League, the UAE Waterman League, which I created, me and His Highness Sheikh Ahmed, about 2 years ago. We went from 5 competitors to now we have, and usually in the winter we have like 50, 60 person.
Wow.
And in 2 years it just like boom, exploded.
Yeah.
And this shows actually how the sport is going on around the world. You know, I mean, in the Middle East we are actually the leader. I mean, in terms of promoting the sport and practicing the sport, and other countries trying to follow up. But you know, you have to understand the culture in the Arabic world is not like in Europe. You know, they're more into motorized sports.
Right.
So you need time to educate the people and show them it's good for them to kite.
Right.
To stand up paddle.
Right.
And to do water sports without any engine
Right.
to be used. You're your own engine. You
It's
get a
good
point.
for the body.
Oh, it's very good for the body.
Yeah.
And it took a bit of time. But you see what we achieved in 2 years was a tremendous job, and I'm really proud of the people here who participated and believed in us, especially you guys, because you're not obliged to come here. You know, I mean,
Right.
we're so small
And we're very far. for
We're
some
very
of us.
far. It's true. We're very, very far. But we're looking to have this event on a yearly basis and getting bigger, and bigger. You know.
Yeah.
And this is the target. And
Yeah.
we want to see more people to come in the Middle East. I mean, I know there is a lot of wrong ideas about the Middle East,
Yes.
which I think it's wrong to think like that. We have a lot of things here. People come from Europe, from the United States. They come see Abu Dhabi or Dubai, and they're all like, "Wow,
Yeah.
we didn't expect that."
That's exactly what I was thinking when I came.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't expect that. I mean,
Yeah.
people here. I mean, okay, the countries are wealthy, very wealthy, but you have everything you want. You get a point. I mean, you can live very well here. Good quality of life. It's a tax-free. Nobody pays taxes. So this is one thing. It's huge. But you can have everything here. I mean, it's not like Middle East is war. It's not true.
Right.
It's absolutely wrong. And in the Middle East, you have places which, like Abu Dhabi, which are extremely advanced in terms of flows, in terms of society and culture. And the only thing is that maybe not everybody knows about it, so they need to come and see.
Right.
So this is what we are trying to promote, to promote our side of flexibility and culture as well. You know, I mean, we are the same people as anybody else around the world. Like you guys in Hawaii, you know, I mean, you get nice people as well here. You know?
Yeah, and it's very interesting that you talk about the perceptions that we have, not being able to have immediate access to this area only from media, only from news outlets, newspapers and things like that. So being myself growing up in America, Hawaii, and it's literally on the other side of the world, so I only have a limited view and perception of what to expect here. And coming here and experiencing it, it has been exactly what you've said. Very, very pleasant surprise.
So I have just a simple question for you. How do you feel to be here?
I feel extremely welcome. I feel very fortunate to be able to see a part of the world that I've only learned about through books and through television, and to really be here on the ground, seeing what it's all about and the environment and the culture. I feel very fortunate.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And we've got some races today that we gotta talk about, because we have 3 rounds of racing that we're going to have. The men's, they're all going to be racing on the same type of board. And that is something new that we're trying, because usually everybody has their own personal racing gear, but with everybody on a similar type of board, the inflatable, the rigid, hard inflatable board, it makes, I think, for a level playing field, a more equal playing field. And I noticed that we do have some local paddlers that are from the United Arab Emirates. They had some qualifying rounds today. So that just goes to show you how fast it's growing and how much it's grown, that you do have the UAE SUP crowd here ready to participate. Yeah,
we have really serious people who are really like Scott Chambers, like a few guys here as well. They are really into the competition. They have the spirit of competing, and they really like ready, and they train like Amr and Dashley is training a lot. I know that, and they really, I mean, they're really into the race, not necessarily to win, but you know, to bring the standard on a higher level. You know, I mean, our standard, we have to admit it, our standard here comparing to you guys in the United States or in Europe. This is the difference, right? Okay, but people are trying, and this is what's nice about it, is that they are trying slowly, and the young guys, they look at them, okay, they say, let's go, let's enjoy them, and let's join them, and let's try to do as well something good. It's just like I'm going back to everything in this life. It's all about education, all about that the people understand why they do that, you know. And these riders, I mean, in their normal life, some of them are lawyers, some of them are land pilot, doctors, and they take the time to, even in 45 degrees Celsius, which is about 150 Fahrenheit, I think, they go and do for 10-kilometer paddling, you know, and they're not afraid.
Well, they seem very enthusiastic, and also, like you said, they're not necessarily in it always to win it, and not that hard edge competition, but they are very enthusiastic. They enjoy it. And I think it's also back to what you were saying about just the health for the body and the mind to get out there and paddle around. And the one thing too I love about stand-up paddling is that anybody can do it. It's very much a sport for the masses. It's true. I mean, back in Hawaii, believe it or not, I take my dogs out on the board.
Me too.
So even the family dog can do it.
I'm coming. My mom is Swiss. My father is from Egypt, but we're living in like an island called El Guna, and it's only channels. Okay, and everybody stand up paddling there. So everybody takes the dogs on the paddle and go visit the neighbor. And we don't really use too much car, you know. And it's really healthy. People who have cholesterol. Women love it because it shaped them, you know. They get really like sexy and you know, nice shape, nice silhouette, and they just like go and they go 2-3 friends that chat all the time, and they're just like paddling for 2-3 hours, you know.
Right on. And so we got Connor Baxter in the first seat. He is a powerhouse when it comes to racing. He's not a big guy, but he's kind of, you
He's
know,
a stamina.
skinny, lanky. He's
Yeah.
got really good stamina. But
Yeah.
today they're going to be doing the sprint races, so it should be really interesting to see how they fare with this win.
With this wind, because I was just coming back. I was landing in the Air Force Base before, and we had 45 knots crosswind during the land in the desert, and here about like maybe now it's about 15 to 17 knots gusty. So it's going to be tough for them. I mean, especially in a sprint. But this is where the fitness will show. Actually, I mean, people like him, I think they will be excelling in such condition. I do believe, you know.
So what are your plans for UAE SUP and surf coming to the near future and beyond?
Okay, so the government now decided to regulate officially all the water sport, including SUP, and they have nominated His Highness Sheikh Ahmad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan as the chairman of the Emirates Kiteboarding and the United Arab Emirates Stand-Up Paddle and Surf. And they nominated me as the acting chairman for that. And our job now, it's not profitable at all. We don't do business, okay? I mean, we are not involved in business at all.
It's not for making money.
Zero. We're not allowed. And we have to be very, very transparent about that and very clear. We do not make money about this. Our task is to regulate the sports by putting standard for the clubs and school in training, make sure the rentals equipment and people who teach rental, they're qualified, and have licensed instructors who are able to teach properly and correctly all the techniques and safety issues with the stand-up paddle. You will laugh, but we had some incident in stand-up paddle. Someone get knocked out because the board hit him in the head, and this is because just like manner of discipline, you know. So we cannot stop accident. We'll never be able to stop accident. But if we educate the people, I think we will be able at least to reduce the amount of accident and incident, and make sure that the level of the country in stand-up paddle and surf are going forward.
Safety is number one.
Safety is number one. I mean,
I noticed when we first arrived, there were 2 jet skiers just flying through here.
Yes.
And I noticed the Marine Police immediately turned on the siren and went after them and got them out. And somebody was saying, "Wow, they never do that." No. So that could be a contribution of, you know, of the safety.
You're absolutely
concerns
right.
here.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. The jet ski here for us is a massive issue because the guys are. I mean, you have to understand the jet ski we have here. They're not like in the United States.
They are fast.
They are super big. We're talking about 2,000 cc's and more. They're modified.
I noticed the guys. Yeah, I work on jet skis a lot at home doing life-saving stuff. And these jet skis were going a lot faster than anyone I've ever seen. I
mean, I tell you one thing, all jet skis we have here, the cheapest one is about maybe 15 to 20,000 US dollar. Wow. So they are huge machine. And the guys on it, when they are, you have to understand them. It's like when you buy a Ferrari, okay, you want to go show off.
Yeah,
okay?
You're not going to drive slow in your Ferrari.
No. This is what they do. But they don't think there's people who are paddling or sailing. And usually they come around you and they spin around you, you know. And just for fun. But this is crazy.
Education part.
And we have to call the police and all. But now it starts again to get, you know, they know they shouldn't do that. The police stop them, arrest them, confiscated the jet skis for 6 months, stuff like that.
So there has been some enforcement there. So that's positive.
Yeah. And now today for sure for the race, everything is blocked. The police is there, the Coast Guard are there, and anyone who will breach the law will be straight arrested. I mean, it's no joke about that.
Right.
Because the safety of the people is more important than anything else.
It can turn into a fatal accident, and we would not want that.
I absolutely agree, and I think you understand that. I know in the US you have more regulation about this, but you know here we have everything coming at the same time.
It's overloaded.
Everything comes at the right time, and people are like, wow, all excited to go to jet ski. We have power boat, we have things crazy you would see you never saw anywhere in the world.
Right.
And it has to be regulated, and it takes time. It takes time.
So the future of the SUP community here is being very much aided and helped by the government, which is very cool because that's what you want. First of all, is you want a place where people can do it safely.
Yeah.
And actually in Hawaii, it became so popular the last few years. Of course, you know, it began years ago along with surfing. Hawaii invented surfing and invented stand-up paddling with our canoes and everything. And then the surfing really took off, but the stand-up paddling kind of had a little period where it flattened out, and then we just saw this big resurgence. And actually at Ala Moana Beach Park on the south end of Oahu, it's very popular right near Waikiki, but they have a place where people love to swim, they love to do their laps, and it's like a pool, and it's only, you know, maybe about 10 or 20 meters wide. But now they have to set up a place where, okay, you can stand up paddle here because the swimmers and the paddlers were, mixing up and colliding.
Yeah.
So it really helped to have some regulation. And I can see that here where you would need that not only for the swimmers, but especially those fast machines that you were talking about, maneuvering inside and out of here.
It is an issue. I mean, when we started to introduce the stand-up paddle with His Highness Sheikh Ahmad, we brought 50 boards, free for the people, okay? With the help of Yas Marina, we put the boards twice a week for free, and the people can come and paddle for free. We're teaching them.
Right.
And it started like that to educate the people we introduced the stand-up paddle in such a way is that they can come and try for free.
Right.
And we had a lot of attention. But I think what really changed the perspective of the stand-up paddle in the UAE is the race. I mean, the races we had brought the stand-up paddle to another level, and medias get interested. They were astonished. What the hell is that? Here in this Corniche in 2005, I have been arrested I don't know how many times by the Coast Guard because they didn't know what is that.
It was so new. Yeah.
They asked me, where's the engine? Where's your life vest? I mean, and I explained them. I mean, they asked me, do you have a problem? You need to be towed or whatever. And then they fined me $50 because I didn't have a life vest. But they didn't know.
Yeah.
You get the point. And then with the time, we explained them. They tried it. Oh, cool. And now we have the police, the police academy who's coming to train with us. I mean, it's really moving slowly, but it's moving.
Yeah,
it's moving.
And I think with your organization and with the partnership that you have with the government is very positive, and that's only going to help not only the locals here enjoy it, but it's going to help your industry of people that come traveling here that may have never tried it, and they're going to get their first experience of stand-up paddle here in Abu Dhabi, and that's very cool.
We even last time I was talking with some people in Europe. And they even think now to come and train for long distance here in the UAE, because you get all the infrastructure. Okay, it's not. I mean, now it's a high season, so maybe the hotels are a bit expensive and stuff like that. But they have the availability and the possibility to train on the Corniche. They have the wave guaranteed in Wadi Adventure. And for sure, in the next 2-3 years, we're gonna have even bigger waves coming because there is other crazy project coming
to make a bigger wave,
huge wave, and it's going to be really amazing what's gonna happen in the UAE.
What was your thoughts and your opinion on what you saw that came to the Wadi Adventure and the level of talent and just the overall crowd of us guys that came here to Abu Dhabi?
For sure, you are a bunch of professionals. There's no discussion about it. I mean, the guys are really talented and disciplined as well. I mean, you can see you tell them to do that. There is no discussion. They just do it, and everything is smooth. And I think this is very important. And your organization, I mean, has been bringing the stand-up paddle. This is why we choose to have you here, because we think that you are representing really the spirit of the Watermans.
Right.
Okay. People are very humble. All the people I met from your team, super humble, which I think it's very important in this world to be humble, because as soon as you think that you are someone who not real, then you create trouble and people will dislike you. But this is one of the things we appreciate with the Waterman League is that you know what you're doing. You brought us a high quality riders, I can say that, and the perception here, the people, everybody was like, we are far away behind, guys. We need to be, we need to train to be like them. And it has changed in my personal point of view. I think now Abu Dhabi with this event has changed its status of just like Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Now Abu Dhabi is a known place for stand-up paddling, and Al Ain a known place for stand-up paddling. I mean, it's the only place in the world in the middle of the desert. You have a wave of 3 meters and high. And white water as well. 1.7 kilometer of black white water.
Right.
I mean,
that to me was just, I was having to pinch myself constantly because I felt like I was in some kind of dreamland. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then the other things that are coming along the way, like you say, even bigger waves, even a snow ski resort, and
this
all
is coming,
that kind of stuff. It's like, this place is on the forefront of human innovation to me.
But you have to understand, I mean, they realize, okay, there is petrol in the country. Okay, there is a lot of petrol, but they don't want to use the petrol. Okay, they want to use the services they can offer to create an industry which is away from the petrol,
Right.
okay, from the oil, because sooner or later the oil will be run out.
Right.
So now you need to establish a society which is based on services, banking, tourism,
Right.
and sports.
Right.
And water sports here is huge. We have so many water around us.
Yeah.
Okay. So they understood now it's time to like I would say change the course of the economy and
Right.
go somewhere away from the oil.
Right.
And this is what's happening here.
Yeah, you need to be forward thinking.
Exactly.
And you know, you look beyond your years. I think that's what the special thing about your leaders here is that they are great visionaries for the future.
Yes, it's true. They understood that. I do believe that. I don't know them. I never met all of them, but I know that they're extremely open-minded, and they know if they continue like that, there would be so little no petrol anyway. You know, so they need to bring the country in other direction, which they can be sustainable.
Right.
Without oil.
Right, and you talk about environmental issues, the byproducts, the emissions of oil. So I think that might be factoring into part of
Exactly.
their thought process. Is like, hey, people are steering away from that as much as possible. So we need to find something else that we can offer the world.
And to prove what I'm saying, stand-up paddle is a green sport.
Yeah.
You get a point.
Totally green.
Totally green. And they support it because they understood. The other thing, they built the new Abu Dhabi, somewhere like 20 kilometers south. It's going to be a huge city, green city, no emission, zero.
Wow.
Everything is from the sun for the heating, the electricity, everything. So no petrol.
I'm gonna say solar here must be wonderful, and then we got some strong winds now, so
Yes.
there's some wind energy too to be harnessed out there.
Yeah, but this is today. Like I said, it's not usual today.
Right.
I mean, it's not the time. Usually, it's somewhere around January, December. We have really sandstorm, but now I mean, it's like exceptional. I think just the sandstorm when I welcome you.
I think so. We wouldn't be appropriate to see all of the extremes of Abu Dhabi
No.
in 1 week. We have to experience everything. So,
But I do believe for the next year we will have to make it longer. You get a point. The stay here for the events should be a bit longer, and we can combine other things
Right.
to this event, to the All Star, and we can show more things of the UAE. Like there's one thing I was starting to doing recently is stand-up paddling on the dunes.
that is an idea right
I tell
there.
you, it is something, because when you go up on a 200-meter high sand dunes
Yeah.
and you slide down,
You go fast.
oh my god, oh my god, yeah. It is something. It is something to try.
I've seen videos of guys with
Yeah,
snowboards
yeah,
and
yeah.
going on
Yeah.
the sand dunes.
Yeah.
And
But we tried it on the sand dunes, and after 4 or 5 times, the board was like a bit worn, you know.
Yeah,
so we have
yeah.
to find something to put under it to protect the board, you know. So, but we'll see. I mean, the next years it has to be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We
Yeah.
want to see more people coming here. They should not think that the Middle East is only a fight and war and killing. It's not true.
Right.
It's absolutely not true. You got millions of normal people. They work every day. They go to the beach like everybody. They go paddling, surfing, fishing, everything. You know.
yeah, and there's a great shot of the
kids, you
next
see?
generations
Exactly.
of possible paddlers here
Yeah.
and athletes. And it looks like heat number 1 is just preparing. That is that's Bo Nixon right there grabbing his Nash paddleboard. But talk a little bit about this waterway here. What's the depth, or if you know, of this water here?
Okay. The deepest side of it is about 12 meters.
Okay.
Yeah, and the current is pretty much tricky here because you have a bridge over on the right there, and the opening of the main with the flag. There's
To
the
the
sea
sea?
coming to the sea. So you got like the currents are mixing up, and
Are there the tidal changes
yes,
also?
yes, about 1.5 meters
Okay.
in average. And the place is tricky. I mean, if you don't know how to ride here, it can be very tricky. If you don't understand the current, you have
Right.
an average speed of about 4 knots.
Wow.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
You see, especially when the tide comes or goes, it's
Yeah,
getting faster, maybe
it's
6, 7
moving,
knots. Yeah,
yeah.
it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the current here is pretty much a consideration when you paddle, actually. Especially when you have headwind and the current against you, you know?
Yeah.
We had to save several times paddlers who are coming, they don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we had to send a boat to bring them back because they couldn't make it.
And that's another thing I was curious about is, are there assigned, like, you know, in Hawaii, in the mainland, in U.S., you have beach lifeguards there. Are there water safety
Yes,
lifeguards
in
here?
every beach you see, there is a lifeguard. You can see over there,
Oh,
for
okay.
example.
Yeah.
And here they have, everyone has 2 jet skis. And it's the same system as in the United States, I mean, or Australia. And the only thing we're not really concerned here is wave.
Right.
We don't have waves, so the danger is less actually.
Right.
But they restricted as well the area of swimming because they're scared about the jet skis and boats, you know.
Yeah, that's
it's
big
very
issue.
contained. It's very very contained. And at any time you cross these lines, they call you back, or they send you and they give you a warning. They send you a jet ski, they give you a warning. If you do it again, you're out of the beach,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So there's no joke about that.
And it looks like we do have heat number 1. We have Connor Baxter out there. We have Paul Jackson, Kyle Vaz, Benoit Carpentier, Daniel Hughes, local paddler Guy Welshman, Chris Parker, and another UAE resident, Daniel Van Doren. And those two guys qualified in the earlier rounds to join these guys. And here they go, off right through the Turtle Bay banner right there. Rocky Cannon joined with brother Tim here from the UAE Sup and Surf. And this is going to be it's a short course race. Sometimes we do have the long distance in Hawaii. We do a couple of miles downwind. Those are a lot of fun, but these races are going to be sprints. So these guys are just going to be hammering the whole time. And you can see Connor Baxter out in front.
Yeah.
He doesn't hold the top of his paddle too. It's kind of a strategy and a little trademark of his.
Exactly, yeah.
That he gets down there and he likes to really choke up on the paddle and dig deep.
Yeah, I think it's a position technique actually. I mean, he just maybe have a better grip, you know, when you do that, and it allows them to have more power when they paddle. But you see now he's changed again the position of his hand.
And I think it's on the turns because that's part of this short course racing. Is when you're going downwind with the paddleboard, you just paddle straight all the way.
Exactly, correct.
When you have to turn, it's tricky turning
very
that
tricky,
board.
yeah.
And when you have other guys bumping your board and stuff, it gets pretty competitive.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And you see these guys are really pumping, huh? I mean, they're going, huh?
Yeah. And they're all on inflatable rigid boards, some of them on starboard paddleboards, some of them on Nash boards, but overall, very, very similar designs. So you get a true sense of who is really going the fastest with no equipment advantage. And they're starting to ease up now, or is it in slow motion? It's hard to tell.
No, they have headwind now.
Okay.
This is headwind they have. This is why it's a bit slower. And it's tough. You see, they have to, I mean, with the headwind and to be fast, I mean, you need to...
Look at that turning technique right there from Connor. That is pretty much the way you do it. Followed closely by Paul Jackson. And there's Chris Parker.
This is Daniel Van Doren.
That's Daniel right there. That's Ian Vaz and his brother Kyle. And they both admitted they're very good stand-up paddle surfers, but they said we're not racers.
I do believe that long distance is something very, very good to do. I mean, personally, I don't race, I don't like that, but I do like 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and it really changed your personality. It really changed your...
Where is your course that you paddle
usually
from?
I'm starting from here. I'm going to Mina Zayed port, which is around 5.5 kilometers and come back. And just a standard pace, you know. I mean, it's really fantastic.
Yeah.
You feel your body is changing, and
it uses every part.
Every single muscle of your body is moving.
Yeah.
I mean, when people tell me, but it's boring. I said, try it. Try it before you say it's boring.
Right.
You know, and they tried it and they said, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Especially when you compare it to not to speak ill about any other water sports with paddles, kayaks, canoes, and stuff, but the act of standing, it's almost like you're walking on water. It makes you feel that much more cooler. It's just that much more thrilling to be standing on the water.
It's true, and it changed your personality, you know. I mean, it changed me. In 7 years, I'm a totally different person because of the long distance.
Wow.
I know people can believe it or not, but you become really laid back and easygoing. You see things, the perception of the life is different as well.
And Connor Baxter and Paul Jackson coming in right about the same time. Chris Parker coming in third. And it looks like one of the local paddlers finished in fourth, because that's very important, because here it says top 4 will advance to the semifinals and the bottom 4 will go to this repechage round. That is where it gets really competitive. Yeah. But the 4 guys going to the semifinals, I believe, will be Connor, Paul, and it looked like Chris Parker, and I believe your friend Daniel Van Doren. was finishing in fourth, so that's an important result for him.
It's crazy to see the really good surfers, huh? The level of fitness in the surf and the level of fitness in the flat water it's massive. The difference is really huge, actually.
Yeah, and there, you know, and like you look at a guy like Connor, he's not a big muscular guy.
No, but he has a lot of stamina.
But his stamina and his knowledge and just the way you saw how fast he was able to turn his board, it's technique.
Technique,
That
I agree.
is a lot of the advantage.
You said the right word. It's technique. It's not about power.
Right.
It's about paddling technique.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. This, I mean, very good. You're one of the rare person I heard saying that. I have to say. No, seriously. I mean, stand-up paddling is not about power.
Right.
Because you gain the power with the experience. You get the
Right.
point. But it's everything about technique. And understand what you have. Wind, current, wave, and combine that to optimize your performance.
For sure. And you should see the races that we have sometimes in some waves. It gets pretty interesting.
Really?
Because they're on these racing boards that really aren't meant to ride the waves like the surfboards.
Okay.
So we have some pretty good races in some waves where there's a lot of wiping out, a lot of possible, you know, almost collisions. It's very exciting for the spectators. But today we have relatively flat water, but we do have that wind that Tim was talking about that is quite unusual for this time of year. So it's only appropriate for the Waterman League to just have challenge after challenge that we have to work through. It makes us stronger as a group, and it makes us stronger as individuals to have, you know, these types of things going on. And, you know, just even getting here. I flew from Honolulu to South Korea, where the North Koreans are talking a lot of crazy stuff. and then we stopped, and then we have to go to Beijing, and then Beijing to here. It was 21 hours of flying and then 7 hours of layover, so about almost 30 hours of travel time. And I was so thankful to get off and get into our one-to-one hotel suite.
They're good, huh?
Oh, the hotel.
They're really nice people,
one-to-one we stayed at here in Abu Dhabi, and we stayed at in Al Ain by the Wadi Adventure, and just some of the nicest service I've ever experienced in my life. I mean,
they're really nice. Yeah.
And I'm not sure how they rank here as far as hotels, but compared to home, and I live on Oahu, and we have many hotels.
I've never been in Oahu. I've been in Maui, you know.
You have to come to Oahu. Another hotel I'll tell you about that I represent is Turtle Bay Resort.
Yeah, I heard about it.
And we are way away from Waikiki, so I experienced that kind of, you know, I work there, so I'm used to giving that kind of service with my surf lessons and stand-up paddle lessons. But when I go stay in Waikiki, because it's so far, sometimes we drive an hour and we're like, we're not going home, we're just going to stay. that's how lazy we are. But, and you stay in a pretty nice hotel, and the service is okay, you know, but here it's like, you know, it seems like just everywhere. People are so welcoming. And it's part of the culture.
This is the Middle East. The Middle East is this. I mean, people are very welcoming, and you just go to their home when they invite you to their place. You're gonna have to eat like you never eat like
Sounds
before.
a lot like some real Hawaiians too.
And you cannot say no because it's like an insult. You know, I mean, you have to eat.
Yeah, and here's heat number 2. We got Zane Schweitzer. You'll be able to see him because he has got a wrap around his face.
Yeah, I can see him.
So he does not inhale too much sand grains. Fernando Stala is our Mexican paddler in this heat. Noah Janela from the North Shore. Leco Salazar from Brazil. Bo Nixon from Australia. And our 2 local boys, Casper Senzi and Scott Chambers.
Yeah, Casper is a young boy, about 16 years old. He is an excellent kiteboarder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's recently came into stand-up paddle. And Scott, in fact, he's born here. Him and Daniel Van Duren, they're born in the UAE.
Wow.
And they're the first guys actually who introduced the surf really professionally in the UAE. They have a club in the UAE, along with other guys like Carl and other people. But they're actually the main core of the surf. They have a lot of classes and of stand-up paddle and surf, and they're very professional, all these guys over there.
Yeah. Do they live around this area?
No,
or?
they live in Dubai and on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah,
I heard there's maybe some swell coming to Dubai
yes,
tomorrow
they have.
or something.
They have just an area where they get like, I think the highest peak would be 2 meter, which is a big wave for us here.
That's, you know, that's head high. That's overhead. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was talking to Mohammed, who was who came to see us at the Wadi Adventure, do some commentating, and he was explaining some of the surf breaks and the swell directions and where you get the swell from, and it's
Mohammed,
very
I think, is a
interesting.
unique personality in the UAE because he's one of the rare locals who's really into surf.
Yeah,
You get a point?
he was only one of three.
Yes,
he said.
yeah, and now the kids start gently, you know, to follow him. But Mohammed is a pretty much unique person here in the UAE. Yeah.
Fernando Stala out to the lead. He is your first place leader right now, and looks like Bo Nixon went down, and he's regaining his stance right there. He's back up and riding, but Fernando Stala followed by Zane Schweitzer. There you see his bandana flapping in the wind, and I think right behind Zane is Noah Janela. Noah Janela is actually a very, very accomplished rapid river racer.
Ooh,
They do the rapids on these softboards because you don't get damage from the
yeah,
rocks.
yes, yeah.
And it's kind of like being on a raft.
Yeah.
But he does races in Colorado, in Oregon, and those kinds of places.
Okay. Well, you see, a guy like Zine is apparently, I mean, he's amazing because the guy is very complete actually. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that his feet
Right.
and his feet on the wave and feet on the flat water.
He
I
was
mean,
built for it.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know if you saw some action from yesterday, but he did a shove-it maneuver with his stand-up board, like aerial and flipping the board around, switching stance, spinning around. It was pretty amazing. He is definitely one of the guys that's on the forefront of progressing the sport.
Sports, yeah.
Very, very quickly.
yes, yeah. We need guys like that, you know. Plus, he's
Yeah.
young, you know. I mean, he's like
Yeah, he's young, and
18
he's,
years.
he's one of the most humble guys.
Yeah, he's
too.
humble.
He
I was,
wants to just thank
yeah.
everybody for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everything, and it's like, you know, he's only doing this because he loves it.
Yeah.
And if he's going to get awarded for it, it's even better. But he doesn't forget to just say his thank yous to
I think
everybody.
the wall riders I met here, they're very nice. I mean,
Yeah.
none of them they're all laid back and super nice. I mean, I respect that, you know.
And I think that's what you were talking about as far as the sport representing watermen and people of the ocean. You know, even sometimes I come from a conventional surfing background,
Okay.
competitive shortboarding,
Yeah.
been competing in the Pipeline Masters, Pipeline Pro, and all those events. And surfing, sometimes you have guys that are on that kind of head trip and ego
Yes.
trip where they rise above and they try to, you know.
So you're talking about territorial people.
And not only territorial, but even
Aggressive.
pro surfers that think that they are better than other people,
Okay.
just like other pro athletes in the
Yes,
world.
yeah, I understand.
But I think stand-up paddling comes from a humble background,
Yeah.
and I think that's where surfing maybe used to be.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to take another
Course,
page out
yeah.
of stand-up paddling and just, you know, really come back down, like where the paddlers, they just seem so appreciative to be doing what they're doing.
Tell me one thing, in Hawaii, I mean, when you get waves, you get like the priorities for the surfers first,
Yes, mostly.
and then what about the windsurfer, stand-up paddler, and all these people?
You know, it depends. You know, I'll tell you, boogie boarders are way down here.
Yeah, but they're in the
No
shore,
offense
no?
to all
No,
my
no, no,
friends
no,
that
no.
boogie board, but,
But
they're
that's
way
just
down
down
here.
here.
They're like down here, maybe. But no, it's you know, especially on the North Shore, and now it's beginning to, like you were talking about regulation and things like that. Of course, we don't have really apparent or really strong government partnership with all of our water sports, but we do have the community
Okay.
that regulates itself.
Yeah.
And so we do have spots that are more conducive and more friendly
Yeah.
to stand-up paddling, to windsurfing, to kiteboarding and things like that, as far as, and then shortboarding. But like on the North Shore, you'll have places like, let's use a big example, like Pipeline. I surf out there a lot, and it's just now being, you know, over the recent years, being friendly to longboarders, friendly to a few stand-up paddlers.
Okay.
But it just depends on your skill and your consideration of the people around
People
you.
around you, yeah.
Because you can paddle so much faster with a stand-up
Yeah.
paddleboard and catch a lot more waves. There is a a type of courtesy
Yeah.
that if you paddle out with,
This is about it, courtesy.
Yeah.
I like this word because
Yeah.
it's all about courtesy. You know.
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing wrong to be.
it's like driving. Hey,
Yeah.
okay, you can go. Okay, then
Okay,
I go.
fine.
Then, yeah.
It's true. Yeah. Everything in life is like that, in my
Yes,
point of view. You know.
yes, for sure. So I think when it first started gaining the resurgence, there was some animosity.
Yeah.
There was some clashings with surfers and with stand-up paddle,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the type of break that you're surfing.
Yeah.
Your skill level also
Yeah.
really matters.
Yeah.
Because you do have a big paddle and a bigger board, it can be a little bit more invasive, I guess,
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
But as long as you have the courtesy, the right attitude, and of course, you got to have the right skill. You
I
got to
agree.
know your limits. You have
I
to
agree.
know where you can fit in. Somebody just beginning, I wouldn't advise them to go
Yeah.
try a spot like Pipeline or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that, which is common sense. But some people need a little bit more education, and they need to be told in a certain way. And you talk about territorial stuff,
yeah.
on the North Shore and on Oahu and in Hawaii too. So
here, territorial stuff doesn't work because if you walk anybody or you do something wrong, you go straight to jail here.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no, we don't have aggressivity.
Right.
It's in the law. You cannot punch anybody.
which is
or-
very civilized.
I think there is no need to punch someone. You can talk to him or her
Right.
and try to find a solution.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's
I
not
agree.
always if the force is necessary. Okay, this is
Yeah.
something else. You get a point. But it's not like, hey, this is my wave and boom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're getting nowhere like that.
Which is,
We-
that was very common, in recent or in past years.
Yeah.
But more recently, it's been a lot more civil and a lot more just, just more
Courteous.
more courtesy,
Yeah.
and also with the invention of the video cameras
Yeah.
and
Can
everything.
catch.
Like, hey, I didn't do it. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
look
sorry,
at that,
that's-
buddy.
The
You
evidence
didn't
is
do it,
right
I
there.
saw you.
So that's been helping as well to regulate and just to make sure that people are staying safe out there. That's the number one thing, is you don't want people getting hurt.
No. We're getting nowhere with aggressivity. I mean, well, aggressivity, natural aggressivity, like in like for us, for example, like as a pilot, jet fighter pilot, what really determines the level of, I would say, of a good jet fighter pilot, it's is the interface machine human and the level of aggressivity of the human himself. Because if you're not enough aggressive, you just lose. You get a
Right.
point. But this kind of aggressivity is healthy. It's not to. It's not used to be
Taking advantage of
of it.
people.
It's
Yeah.
used to in a good manners. You get a
Right.
point. But in a normal society, when you get you get punched because you were in the web of someone, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not your fault.
That's
you
kinda
don't- I mean,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. You get
Yeah.
a point. I mean, it's
And,
not.
this is heat number 3. We've got the best prone paddler in the world, Jamie Mitchell. He is the Kelly Slater of prone paddling. Now he's on his stand-up paddleboard. Cody Kerbox from Maui. We got Ian Vaz from Brazil. Kieran Taylor, who lives here in United Arab Emirates now. And Remy Keek from France, but living in Brazil. Peter Longdale, he's from UAE. And Amer El, you're going to have to help me with this one,
Okay,
Tim.
this is Amer El Dandashli.
Amr El Dandashli.
Yeah.
Okay, and Jacob
Jacob
Senzi.
is the father of Casper.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
we got some father and son paddle family.
Yeah, Jacob was in the
going
World Cup of kite surfing before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's like 36 years old, and he has a school here of kiteboarding, and he's kiteboarding and stand-up paddling at the same time.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So this man has been 11-time world champion. Huh? This is crazy.
He has found some way to just keep winning and keep winning. And I have the opportunity to spend quite a lot of time with him in Hawaii when he's there. And he is just a very dedicated athlete, very professional. He likes to have fun like everybody else.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to race time and it comes down to his competition and his profession,
Yeah, he's a real
he
professional.
is very serious.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is very good.
And Cody also sporting the mask to help him filter out some of the sand that's blowing around. And
This is one of the things for the weather. Next year we'll try to do it a bit earlier. Because it's getting hot now. Huh? I mean, for many of the riders, they were complaining it's hot. but, yeah, what can we do? I mean,
Yeah.
it's already 40 degrees outside, but
Right.
of course not Fahrenheit, on Celsius.
yes,
Huh?
yes, Celsius, and that's what you have to get used to here. Kilometers,
Kilometers,
Celsius,
yeah.
and meters.
Meters,
When
yes.
you're talking about waves.
Yeah, meters, yeah. Exactly. Because in Hawaii, you still like say the
We
the
still
way-
use feet
yeah,
and
okay.
miles.
Miles, yeah.
Yeah. So, and also the wind factor too. You guys have the wind blowing at
Yeah.
kilometers.
This is the
kilometers.
famous Etihad Towers.
Those are the Etihad towers.
Yes, so they present a lotus actually, and you get a fantastic.
From the air, it looks like a lotus.
Yeah, it's a lotus. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they look like they
Yeah, it's a
curve
five.
like
Yeah, yeah.
petals.
It's a
And
it's
I
a
was-
5 building. Yeah.
I was wondering when I was looking out at the. That's one thing I am marveling at while I'm here too is the architecture. We had the opportunity to go to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque.
So how did you find that?
That was like I'd never seen anything like it ever in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
impressive,
only
huh?
only in books, magazines, TV, but
Yeah.
to walk inside of there and look at all the detailed architecture
Yeah.
and the detailed artwork, that there's no space that doesn't have something
In detail.
just intricate in detail.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very much a wonder of the world
Yeah.
to me. These are the girls, and that's one thing about stand-up paddling. We talked about anybody can do it, and sometimes when I watch these girls surfing or watch them racing, like I don't want to be in the same water as them because
Yeah.
they're gonna beat me in the racing.
But you know what? I found we don't have enough women in the
Mm.
stand-up paddle. You get a point, especially in the wave. I think it's not yet. I don't know if the women are impressed by the wave or they don't feel comfortable with it. But I hope to see more women competing in wave and in flat water. You know.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
just
know.
and just
I'm
doing
talking
the
about the
sport
UE, huh?
and just doing the sport in general.
Exactly.
Here.
What's really, really, really cracking up here, and I don't know how, but is the stand-up yoga.
Oh yeah, it is
I mean-
very popular also.
Here, I mean, it's crazy. It is like the little piece of chocolate that you give to a kid.
Yeah.
And it's only women who does that. And I'm trying to tell them, come on, girls, let's try to paddle.
And just-
You know.
yeah.
Try to combine. No way. No. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's they don't understand it maybe or, but we have few girls who are trying actually. I mean.
Yeah, I think over time, it'll be more acceptable. It'll be more popular. I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of stand-up yoga, we just had a big festival at Turtle Bay.
Okay.
Called Wanderlust, where all these people that are really into yoga came to Turtle Bay from all over the world.
Really?
And they booked up the whole hotel. And we were doing, in between their yoga sessions, they wanted to come take surfing lessons.
Okay.
So we were teaching them surfing, but we did have the most popular thing was the stand-up yoga.
Told you.
And
Yeah.
we had anchors in the ocean
Yeah.
in this little flat water bay that we have
Okay.
by Turtle Bay. And I was kind of questioning. I had never really seen it done live before. I've seen pictures of it and hear people talk about it,
Yeah.
but I'd never seen it performed.
Yeah.
And they were doing it near where we were doing our surfing. We had our surfing lessons way out here where there's waves,
Yeah.
and we had the flat water near the beach where they were doing the yoga.
Okay.
And I was, paddling in from surfing, looking at how they were doing it, like it's very impressive.
It's impressive and it's
Yeah.
difficult.
It's so hard.
I tried it. I couldn't walk for 2 weeks after. You know. I mean.
I couldn't even stay on the board, bro.
I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. But these two girls are good, huh? This is Monka on the left. Mansa. It's Mansa.
We don't have a name
Yeah.
list here, but
This is Mansa and I think Olivia on the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple of our girls that were surfing. See, and that's where it gets
yeah.
very competitive. She stepped over the front of the other girl's board. If they're gonna be in your way, just I guess step right over them.
Yeah.
She makes the turn, and there's our third place competitor
Yeah.
going out to the turnaround buoy.
I think Olivia is a very accomplished athlete as well. Huh? I mean, in the
Yes.
wave, I looked just at the results this morning. I didn't see, but
Yeah.
it looks that she had a good ride yesterday.
She
huh?
finished in second. It was very close between Olivia and between Caroline.
Okay.
And then I first met Jen, who is also probably paddling in this.
Yeah.
Jen and her husband Nick, they were in Chicago
Okay.
last summer for our stand-up paddle race there in
Yes.
Chicago. And
Yeah.
talking about being able to do stand-up paddling anywhere, I'll touch on what means coming here. But going to Chicago last year during the summer, it's hot. There's a city on the beach, much like this. And
Yeah.
you got to come with us in
Yeah,
August.
I know.
You should meet us
I've been
there.
last time in Chicago.
You
yeah,
should
yeah.
meet us there in Chicago
Yeah.
this year because
Yeah.
we're going again in August. But being able to do it on the big lake like that,
Yeah.
and I was amazed at how much people came up and tried it for the first time
Yeah.
and were really stoked on it. and they're like talking about, okay, now I'm gonna get me aboard and do it, and then even blowing my mind more is coming here.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, I don't know, when the first time you heard that, okay, Abu Dhabi will be one of the...
the first time I heard somebody was when I met Jen
Yeah.
in Chicago last year, and she
Okay.
said, I live in Abu Dhabi, and this is my husband Nick, and we start this Live Love Sup,
Yeah.
and we stand up paddle in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East. I'm like, what? Where? No way. So that was the first time I've heard it, was last June.
Last June.
Yeah. And then a few months later, Tristan tells me we might be going to Abu Dhabi, and I'm like, whoa, no way. And then up until a few weeks ago, it was like, it was possible I might be going or not. And then finally with the confirmation I'm going, I'm like, oh, I was getting excited.
I have to admit, it came very fast, especially in the last 4 months. I mean, the decision came a bit late, but you have to understand it was because, for the people here, they don't know what is it 100% this sport, So bringing such an event,
something very new,
and such an event with this such amplitude, for them it's a bit like, should we do it? Should not we do it? I'm not getting the point. And at the end they said yes, because we were able to talk to them, explain them.
And you're a big part of that.
Well, I mean, we're all. I mean, I'm not only me. I mean, it's all. There is you guys, us. It's all a chain, And
but you are our eyes and ears here.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I have been like talking with a lot of people here to be able to make it happen. Okay, but you're never sure. I was never sure if it's gonna happen or not. You get a point? Because I don't have the decision. Even though I know the people, I can talk to them and explain them, but it's not my decision. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And
all you can do is present it.
It's presented, but I think as well is that you need to be very clear when you present that and explain them what's the beneficial things to have this here. Because you get a government involved, you get the club here, you get everything. So it's a lot of responsibility that you cannot really fake it. You get a point. It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, other people doesn't understand why we do that. You get a point?
Yeah.
What is the reason?
Yeah.
And we said, we can do it. I said, okay, if you can do it, why you didn't do it before? Okay, so why do you criticize us?
Yeah.
So just do it.
Yeah.
You get a point. And we did it at the end.
Well, and it's a lot of evidence, speaking to what you were saying earlier, is that it seems that the government here is supportive of new ways. They're very open-minded, like you said. So I think that helped a lot. And, having someone like you to present it, and having an organization like the Waterman League to bring it, I think it turned out to be a very good combination.
Exactly. But you know what is the biggest problem here for the kids, actually, or even for the adults?
Excuse me. So we have heat number 2 of the girls, by the way, but yeah.
So the biggest issue we have here is the Xbox and PlayStation.
Not only here, but we got a... Believe it or not, it's a problem in Hawaii too.
It's a huge problem. It's a massive problem. I mean, kids are spending their time behind the Xbox and
in front of the TV
and
all
they don't
day.
go out. Yeah,
all day long.
And we need them to go out,
Yeah, we need the outside sports to be reintroduced, and something like this. I mean, of course, you have the football. You have all your sports that you can do on the land. But like you said, you have so much water around here. Especially here in the UAE, you have 2 gulfs, you have all the internal waterways to use.
Yes.
So, making use of those and doing something different with the kids, I think is very important. I'm excited about tomorrow, that we're going to get to
nice.
help a lot of kids get introduced to the sport.
Tomorrow it will be really, really cool,
Yeah, and that was one of my favorite things.
And this is one of the things will make us going with you guys, is because you take care, you're interested to help the kids, and I like that very much, and they like it as well, because here kids is everything.
Yeah.
For the Middle East, the kids are number one when they have kids, families, and these cities here in the Arabic world, I actually everything is done for the kids and the safety of the kids. I mean, here if you kidnap a kid, is in 2 hours we find a kid. You get cameras every 100 meters here. Wow. You know that. I mean, it's super safe. And the parks and everything. So it's done in such a way that for the families, safety of the kids and the well-being of the kids, it's something which is extremely important.
Yeah, taken very seriously.
Here, yeah. And you don't joke with kids. And if someone hurt a kid, it can go very far.
Right.
Very far.
Right.
You know.
The laws are very much in place to.
There is no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes very far. I mean, you don't hurt kids. You don't do anything bad to kids in these countries. As long as you can do to some adults, okay. But kids, no.
Kids are very much off limits.
No.
And we're gonna get to interact with some of the kids tomorrow and get them on the water. That's gonna be
fun.
really good fun time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that so much. I feel the same way about, you know, when you read about stories about, especially in America, you know, this guy did this to a kid and now he's getting off and getting. It makes me furious inside that
I understand.
that can do that, and it's good to hear that it's all about the next generation over here.
Here it's very the kids are very important. The Abu Dhabi beach game is only for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, the government's spending millions for kids. You know what I mean? It's not just for the pleasure of the adults.
Right.
It's specifically for kids. They come, they try all the water sports, enjoy the beach, enjoy the people. So it's really done for them, you know.
And I think this is Jen in this heat. I didn't realize there was
Jen
two.
is on the right. I don't know who's this lady on the red board.
It might be Caroline, our other traveling paddler that came, and she won the Abu Dhabi All-Star Invitational yesterday.
She won it.
She won first place.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yesterday I was flying and I had no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't realize what your job was until just a little while ago, but because I was asking, where have you been? Because this guy's a ball of energy. He's so much fun to be around. He's very well spoken. He's very articulate. And but what were you doing?
Well, I'm a pilot.
Okay, so you fly airplanes.
Fast jets, yeah.
Okay.
And so yesterday we were doing some training and stuff like that. Before I was a jet fighter pilot for the Swiss Air Force. I was flying F-18s.
Wow.
And continued here, and I'm flying now for Etihad Airways as well.
I know Etihad Airways. For the first time I experienced Etihad Airways. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised once again by the treatment and just the quality of the service.
Yeah, it's good, huh?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing, I mean, most of the time I'm training pilot, I'm checking pilot, I'm
evaluating them.
Yes, I'm rating them. Yeah, I'm just, this is the thing. And sometimes I'm doing line flight, normal line flight. So this is my job actually. I mean, since I joined the College of the Air Force, I was 16 years old.
Wow.
The College of the Air.
You can join that young?
Yeah, but in Switzerland we have a selection to do, and then you can. At 16 years old, you join the College of the Air, so you do the normal schooling and everything, and at the same time, during 2 times a week, you're flying. And then you go, they decide where you go, if you go for the jet fighters or helicopter or transport and things like that. So
that's cool.
Well, it's a life. I mean, it's a dream. I had the chance, thanks God, I had the chance to accomplish this dream.
Yeah.
And I'm still enjoying speed.
Yeah, that's good.
But I'm not going so fast on the earth. I'm pretty much lay back.
And not as fast on the stand-up paddling either.
No. I wish I would like a jet. Well, actually, I saw these new boards with the jet water.
There's a wave jet board.
Wave jet board.
You know, we had the pleasure of working with them during the Triple Crown of Surfing.
Okay.
I do all the announcing for those events, and they're one of our major sponsors now. It doesn't go as fast as your jet pilot or your jet plane, but it is I had a stand-up wave jet to use. Me and my dog, we enjoyed that very much. You have a wristwatch control with the jets, and it just pretty much helps you paddle out. It would be really good for people that get tired paddling or something. But and then if you have a section of the wave that it's going too fast, you can turn on the jet and you can go a little bit faster. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the autonomy of that? How long you can go? Is it?
It is. I think the battery pack. It lasts about 40 minutes.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
No.
And you can turn it off and on too, so you can save
so
the
you
energy.
can save the energy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was paddling out with it using the jets, and then I would turn it off when I get to the outside,
Okay.
and then turn around. And if I can catch the wave by myself, I would. But if I needed help, I just turn the jet on.
Cheating.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
cheating, buddy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun though.
Yeah. Oh, so here you got the nice group there, huh?
And this is the Repo Charge Heat #1. It looks like I can always recognize Caio Vaz because he's got the long hair.
Yeah.
The Brazilian surfer right there. But it looks like a couple of our UAE paddlers in this possibly, or at least one of them. And
the wind is pretty much strong now. I can see it. You see?
mhm.
I mean, we have at least 15 knots.
Yep. Yeah, and you see Kyle, he's got a little GoPro
Yeah.
on his.
Ah, yeah.
And that's a really cool
It's a nice
invention
camera, yeah.
That's been introduced in the last few years. It really gives everybody the chance to feel like I think like a star.
Yeah. Yeah, you can look at yourself. You know?
Yeah, you show your friends
With
your
your
experience
friends,
that you
yeah.
had. Strap it to your helmet or your surfboard.
Is anybody yesterday had it in the wave? No. Huh?
You know, they were shooting from
Oh, I saw it,
from the
yes.
handle,
Yeah.
but I didn't see anybody with it on their
On the-
board,
on the boards,
which
yeah.
would have been pretty cool. But
Yeah.
some of the highlight footage that we've seen of the last 2 days have been really,
Really
good.
good,
The
huh?
water footage, oh
Really?
man,
I haven't
just
seen
looks
it,
like,
unfortunately.
It looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
it's really good for the Wadi Adventure, I think, to get more
So
exposure.
what feeling you had about Wadi Adventure? I mean, what do you think? What would be for you like as a world tour organization?
Mhm.
What can you expect on the future with your place like Wadi Adventure?
Well, I think
In a bigger scale, if we have a lot more riders, you know what I mean?
I think there is potential for. I think the potential is probably for the venue to be used as some place to specialize. I think in the more progressive acrobatic part of
Acrobatic part of
surfing,
it, yeah.
because of like the video Electric Blue Heaven and those things like
It's crazy,
that,
huh?
where you see the big aerials that you can launch.
Yeah.
And
But we miss the girls over there.
And the, yeah, and the consistency. You can have a bikini contest and an aerial contest.
Exactly, yeah.
But the consistency of the wave,
Yeah.
I compare it to like how skateboarding has grown so much because you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
And the competition of skateboarding in the X Games on the highest level, you know, skateboarding and those extreme sports on the X Games, you know, I don't know if it'll ever be Olympic skateboarding, but definitely like ice skating, like all those things where you have judges judging your routine. Everybody has the same surface to work on.
Yes.
Everybody has a level equal playing field like
Equal
we
wave,
talked about.
yes, yeah, yeah.
And that right there can take the level or can take the sport that much further.
Yeah, it's funny you say that.
Because you don't have to rely on the ocean conditions
Yeah,
and people having different
exactly.
wave selection. You get one constant surface.
Yeah, I think I mean I absolutely agree with you. I think this place is quite unique in terms that it can be part of a continuous progress
Yes.
in surfing style, in the stand-up paddle, or even in surf.
Yeah.
And Zane yesterday, 2 days ago, sorry, was telling me something very similar. I said, buddy, you're right. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I have thought about it, but he explained to me in a much technical way, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's true that you can really improve your techniques and
Yes.
and your style as well.
Yeah. And so I think the next big thing for Wadi Adventure would be to get an event that showcases the different disciplines of wave riding.
Yeah.
Yes, even boogie boarders
Even
can
boogie
come.
boards. You have an issue with boogie boarders or what?
I do. I admit it.
It's
I
a
do.
sport.
I
It's a
do.
sport,
no.
buddy.
No, it's just how we grew up on the North Shore. You always just make fun. You
Yeah.
know, it's one of your friends is boogie boarding. Like, hey, come on, stand up. But anyway, I am more mature, and I just say it as a joke mostly nowadays because I have a lot of friends that do it, and I like to do it too. But I think the next big thing would be so cool would be to have multiple disciplines showcased
Yeah.
at the wave pool.
Yeah, like an X game.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like a water X Games.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
I think Wadi Adventure would be perfect for that.
It would be very perfect,
Yeah.
especially the wave yesterday I saw where they push the one side and then the one backs it up
Yeah.
and they make a nice ramp so you
But-
could do.
I think they have several levels of waves as well. Huh?
And they do too,
They
yeah.
can go like 3 meters and above, or
Yeah.
beyond. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it can be really nice. Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think that Wadi Adventure is probably on the the cutting edge and the forefront of what is possible
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah.
And it's a great destination. You have a great hotel, 1-to-1, right
Yeah.
nearby, so you can house everybody there.
Do you know that the room, when I went inside first time, it's the typical palace's room from the old times.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like
It's authentic. Yeah.
it's authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the building, and people didn't realize, and the not the pool, the little lake in front of the hotel.
Yeah.
It's a natural water spring.
I was curious about
full
that.
of fish.
I was
It's
curious.
plenty of fish. I don't know from where these fish are coming from. I have no idea, but it's a natural source.
Yeah.
Which is coming from underground, and it's canalized to another lake, which is about 20 kilometers further,
Yeah.
where you can go stand up paddle, and kite surf as well.
Wow. I
Because
think Kieran was talking about
yeah,
that place.
exactly. And but the funny thing is about like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon over there. Okay, every day you get radiation wind from 0 to 20 knots.
Wow.
So for kite surfing, is
That's pretty good.
yeah.
Huh?
Here, you know what we do as well? We stand up kite as well, a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we use a kite.
Yeah.
We do the stand up, like
And
the
you-
wind is 7 knots, 8
Yeah,
knots.
just like you're
We
sailing.
cruise. Yeah, it's super nice. I know. I mean, in Hawaii, you tell to the guy we do that, they think we are. But I mean, we have flat water, so we can
you
enjoy it.
You have to be creative.
Exactly.
You have to be creative.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
there's that building in the distance, and here's
This beach you see on the other side, this
Yep.
was the first place in Abu Dhabi you can come and swim.
really.
Yeah, the Hilton.
Wow.
It has like 40 years old.
What 40 years?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and in those in recent years, they've just been continuing to perfect it.
Yes.
and-
So all this building you see there, all that are on artificial land.
wow.
Okay, so you have to from the beach you have to remove about 3 kilometers inside the land.
Wow.
Okay, this is the real land after that, but all that it's reclaimed.
Wow.
So we're talking about kilometers and kilometers of reclaimed land.
And the engineering and the just amazing human innovation that we've been talking about here in Abu Dhabi and the UAE. I mean, I've only seen some of this stuff on National Geographic, on Discovery Channel, how just making these islands, doing all these things where it's amazing to me.
We have the highest building in the world. You know that in Dubai,
Which building?
which is the Burj Khalifa.
No way.
Yeah, it's about I think if I'm not saying something wrong, it's about 900 feet or something like that. I'm not really sure. But it's very close to this. It's very very very
Was
very
it
high.
how long has it been?
2 years now.
Oh, okay.
It's the tallest building in the world. It's called Burj Khalifa,
Wow.
and it's unique in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unique in the world, and
And that's another reason why I think next time we got to come for longer, is because
This is what I'm saying.
we want to see more of the country.
Yes.
I've only got a small taste, and I want to see a lot more.
we need to. It's about 2,000. It's about 830 meter high, which is 2,722 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's huge.
That is monstrous.
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. And you have to see it's like a missile actually. When
Yeah.
it's going up, and the tower when it's windy, you can see it bending like that.
Oh, I don't want to be up there when it's doing that. And this is the Reprecharge round number 2, I believe.
So this is on the right. Number 7 is Amer and then Dashley.
Okay. And then on the left, it looks like it
There's an old star on the right.
might be one of that's Remy, I believe.
Yeah, it's Remy, yeah.
Now he's in the middle, and you see the patrol outside
Yeah.
looking on, making sure that all these crazy fast speeding jet skiers stay out of the race course area.
Yeah, it's all locked. I mean,
They're on patrol,
No,
yeah?
yeah. No worries. I mean,
Yeah,
well,
that's
no
good.
worries. I'm sorry. I mean, should nothing happen. I mean,
Right. Well, like I said, as soon as we showed up, we saw these guys blazing, and then we saw the guy turn on his siren. So we saw the enforcement in action.
Actually, you know what? I tried inflatable. I don't like it.
No?
No.
You feel too much of the water?
I
or
think because I'm a
something?
heavy guy, probably. So the board is bending, from the top and the tail, and it gets nowhere,
That possibly could be the reason, because it does hold your weight in the middle, and then it does blow
Yeah, and
upwards.
I don't feel- yeah.
And it pushes water a little bit.
It pushes water, huh?
But just for cruising, it's fun, and it's nice to not have to worry about getting damage to your board.
Yeah.
And that looks like another local
Yeah,
paddler.
this is Jacob Skenetti, and this is the guy who was in the World Cup in kite surf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's an excellent kite surfer, very good. He's 38 years old.
Wow, he
Yeah.
looks like he's about 25.
I think Jamie as well is Jamie 36?
Jamie Mitchell
Yeah.
is he's closer to
34,
33,
33, yeah,
34,
sorry,
yeah. Yeah, but so there's Remy, and there's a couple of our local UAE paddlers as well, Jacob, and you see Kyle right there in the foreground with the blue All-Star jersey. Turtle Bay banners marking the start and finish line. So you do have to come to Oahu. When you do come there, you come and hang out with us.
I
I'll
will.
show you all the surf breaks, all the things that you've maybe read or watched on videos before. That's my home turf. That's where I was born and
Really?
raised.
I will come for sure.
And we're gonna have a good time over there.
I went 2 times in Hawaii already, in Maui. I have a friend there, probably you know him, Robert Teriteo. He was a world champion of windsurf.
What's his last name?
Robert Teriteo.
He's a Tahitian. Yeah?
Tahitian,
Yeah.
Funny guy, he's incredible. And I was always staying by his place, but I've never been in your island, but I will.
Okay.
We'll come with a couple of Emirati
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
come to visit you guys
Bring
there.
Mohammed too, and we'll go surfing.
Yeah,
for
Mohammed,
sure.
I think is very keen to.
Yeah,
to go
he's
try it.
Hey, he's an enthusiastic surfer. You can tell.
Yeah.
We were nowhere near the ocean. Of course, we had the wave pool there, but you could tell with the way he was speaking about it. He has a really strong passion.
Yeah, and they love falcons as well here.
That's what he was saying too.
Yeah.
I want a falcon.
It's very expensive.
It is.
Oh yeah. I know some people they have falcon. We're talking. They have maybe 100 falcons. A falcon, the cheapest one, we're talking about $10,000.
Wow.
To the most expensive one.
And what is the reason for the popularity of the falcon?
Because it's a culture. The falcon for them is they're using for hunting. Okay. And it's a prestigious thing to have a falcon. I mean, and they have kept that from ages and ages.
Wow.
I mean, and falconry here in the UAE is a pylon,
Wow.
in the culture.
Yeah.
You cannot get away from it. People
Yeah.
have cages. When I'm talking cages, there's twice this building.
Wow.
With hundreds of falcons inside. They have the only hospital in the world for falcon here.
A hospital for falcons?
Yes.
Only for falcons.
Only for falcons. And I'm telling you, it costs a lot of money to bring your falcon there because
Wow.
they do everything for the falcon, and it's something very important. Falcon and horses, and as well camels.
I have heard of Arabian horses.
Yeah, this is the most
breed.
expensive horse in the world. Yeah. And the camels as well. Camels is something very important in the culture of all Arabic country. We have a camel beauty contest. You know that?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We have a camel beauty contest, and
You were telling me also about
there's the race.
The races.
And this is something you have to see. the race, camel race is something. I was in Qatar in Doha, and I assisted to a race. It's one of the most hilarious things I never participated because they get the camels lined up, okay, like 30, 40 camels.
Like a horse race almost.
Like horse race.
Okay.
They get a robot, okay, on the camel, which replaces the jockey actually.
That's the trippiest thing I've ever heard
It's
of.
remote control. So the guys are sitting behind the camels on their Land Cruiser, okay, the jeeps on the roof, and they're controlling the camel.
Oh my
Okay?
gosh.
And you got like 100 cars behind them, and the ambulances and everything. So they all go at the same time, I mean, the camels are running, the cars are behind, the ambulances are behind, and it gets wild. I mean, it's so funny, and it's something you have to see. I mean,
Wow.
it's something incredible.
I might have to go on YouTube and see if I can find
my
some
God.
stuff about that because what you're saying, I just am. It's a disbelief, but I believe you. But it's
you
just
have
I
to
can't,
be, I'm
can't
telling
imagine
you,
it.
to understand what I'm talking about and
Yeah.
the fun.
You
and
gotta
the fun of
see it live.
You have to be inside in the middle of what's going on because it's an adventure. Trust me. I mean, and cars are driving at 60 kilometers. Nobody sees anything because there is dust, and they crash. It's incredible. I mean, you have to see that. It's funny.
Oh my gosh, it's funny to even hear you describe it. So I can't imagine being there.
It's like a road trip, you know, and something happened, you know.
We are live here at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club. We got to say mahalo to them very much for being such awesome hosts here. Tim from UAE SUP. Just to reintroduce what we're doing here, it's a great time that we're having. My name is Rocky Cannon. You're watching the races here at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, right across from the Corniche here in Abu Dhabi. A beautiful, beautiful venue for stand-up paddling. As you can see, plenty of water to use. Nice flat water for racing. These are the girls' repo. Right now, the Repercharge heat. So the top girls from this one will go into the final. And we're just about getting to the semifinals for the guys too. So it's going to be quite a great finish for this race day here, part of the Abu Dhabi All-Star Invitational. Of course, we were at the wave pool at the Wadi Adventure the last 2 days during the surfing event, and now we're at the racing event, and looks like a little bit of wind helping them on the screen right now.
I can see that? Yeah. I mean, the wind veered.
Right.
Yeah.
Making the turn right there.
Tell me one thing. I mean, you never get tired. I mean, talking about hours like that, I'm pretty much impressed. You know, because since this morning, I mean, I was looking at you the last few days, and buddy, you're good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a job that has just kind of fallen in my lap the last maybe 5 years or so. Somebody gave me a microphone at one of our surf contests that we volunteer and we help at a community contest.
Okay.
I started in surfing as a competitor, and then I also did lifeguarding and jet ski rescue for 10 years. And my friends gave me the microphone kind of like as a joke, like, here, call the first heat.
And they found you talented.
And it just started going from there. And
you're a star.
I like competing. I like being on the jet ski, but it's a lot of fun also to watch the surfing and talk
analyze,
about surfing and being able to talk and interview all the surfers. It's a blessed job that I'm very thankful for, and it's given me opportunities to come. Whoever would have thought I would have made it to the Middle East for surfing and stand-up paddling?
I think it's important, like people like you who are traveling a lot and seeing so many cultures, so many countries, can have a correct perception of the places they are. You get a point? I mean, especially when you come here. I mean, many people thought that we don't have cars here. We're Bedouins, you know, camels.
Part of that is that I'm used to it being from Hawaii. I used to go to my mom is from the United States. She's from Florida, but my dad is from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And so when we go to Florida, the United States, to visit my family, they're like, you guys have cars and you don't live in huts in Hawaii? I'm like, no, man, I got a telephone and everything. Seriously.
It's crazy,
So I'm used to it. So coming with that perception and having that experience, I think, helps me come with open mind too.
Yeah. But this is good. I think it's a very positive attitude, you know, to be like this. I mean, and because you can as well, you portray exactly what you see, which is very good, you know.
And there's a good up close view of that starboard inflatable that Tim is not very fond of.
No, I'm not fond of it. Like you and the buddies.
Yeah, the bodyboarders, we have the same attitude towards those two things.
Yeah, they're going to touch fire on us.
But these girls are definitely, they have their work cut out for them, going against the wind and everything.
I wish to see more women get involved in the, I don't know.
Do you think, now this might be a bit of a strange question because of my lack of experience here in the Middle East and what I'm only exposed to growing up where I'm from, is that there is, or is there some kind of inferiority with men and women sometimes? But it doesn't seem that apparent here.
No. It's unfortunate. I have to say it's unfortunate that some people around the Arabic world are displaying a wrong picture of the reality. Okay. And I always said these people who are doing that, they are weak.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a weakness.
Right.
Okay, because if you need to display such a picture about women, you are a weak person.
Right.
Correct. So in the woman in the Islam religion, they have all their rights like a man. Okay. I mean, all these things that they people like say or.
So it's just a very small percentage.
It's unfortunately a very small percentage who the media are always taking it and display it, which gives a wrong idea about the reality.
Okay.
You get a point.
Yes.
But here, women, they have right. They can work. They can go to politics. They can go to creating movies, artists, anything. Nobody stops them. Okay. And like when I tell you, oh, you have to be dressed up and all this stuff. Yes, in the governmental places, okay, you need to have decent clothes. You cannot go in bikini. Even in Europe, if you go in bikini, then in governmental places, they will tell you to go out.
You need to be respectful. Yes.
This is the thing. You get a point. Locals have tradition, example, because don't forget that tradition in the Arabic country is very, very, very deeply rooted.
Right.
Okay. So sometimes when you go to a wedding or you go to the malls or you go to the any places where locals are there, it's always advisable to be decent. Just that. But on the beach, you can be in bikini, you can do whatever you like. Okay, no, not maybe topless because it's not. It's by law. It's not allowed.
Not in Hawaii either.
But you see, okay, so it's only that. But women are not inferior as men here. It's not true.
Right.
It is not true. I mean. We have women pilots, we have women military pilots, we have women in the special forces, we have women everywhere.
And I think that is very enlightening to not only to me, but to a lot of our viewers that are watching from all over, that they get an inside explanation, an inside view of what really is happening here in the UAE and in the Middle East too.
I say the main issue is education.
Right.
Okay? If you got a frame of the population which is have an education which is of low level, okay, they would not act like the same people have a higher education. You get a point, and they don't perceive and they don't see the life like it is, and so these people maybe they can do wrongdoing, which is unfortunately again I say it's taken by the medias and displayed wrongly, just to sell more paper. You get a point?
Yes.
I mean, it's like, okay, everybody does the Middle East, you talk about the Middle East, you talk about Iran, Iraq. It's not Iran and Iraq.
Right.
There is beautiful countries. There is Oman, there is the UAE, there is Qatar, Kuwait, Egypt. There is so many things to see, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, they do have political issue in other country, but for here, it's quiet.
This is a whole nother Middle East that is not as promoted.
Yeah. And I have the impression sometimes the media, they don't have, or they don't want to promote this side because it
doesn't sell as much.
It doesn't sell as much, exactly.
Which is an unfortunate reality of a lot of media outlets.
Of course. I'll tell you one thing. You see, we have this picture of Iran, for example.
Yeah.
Do you know that the best place in the world that you can ski actually is in Iran?
I had no idea.
Okay?
Wow.
And these pictures that, as a European or American or whatever, you cannot go to Iran for skiing. It's not true. The people are like here, they're welcoming. Okay?
Yeah.
The government is something.
Right.
Okay? And the population is something else.
Something else, yeah.
You get a point. We cannot mix what the behavior of the government with another government and the behavior of the normal people. I mean, in Iran, they have everything. They have Christians, they have Jewish, everything. Even in the Arabic world, they don't have any problem with Jewish.
Right.
You know, it's not. It's the picture which is given by the medias is not always right.
And I'm sitting here learning as you speak. I'm a Westerner. I come from Hawaii, the United States, and like you're saying, we're only exposed to the what we are given, and it's unfortunate that we don't get to see more of the real thing. The only way to do it is to really come here.
Come here, come surf with us, like you said.
Yeah. Drop all your judgments and just come surf with us.
Exactly. You told me that 2 days ago, remember? And I said, "Wow, man, you're incredible."
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And I think this is a very, very nice sentence from you. Well, I mean, drop everything, come over surfing, come to discover.
And I think even little broadcasts like this, I think do a great justice to what you guys are doing here. So we're not signing off or anything, but I just want to say thank you so much for all of your enlightenment and just your enthusiasm for the sports here that we're displaying, and it's really an eye-opening experience.
But thank you very much. I mean, for me to have this, we never dreamed of to have that here. Sincerely, I mean.
And look at Connor and Fernando. They're
Yeah.
hammering to the end. Those guys are very fierce competitors.
Yeah. And for us to have the world tour here, and it's something never happened in any Arabic country.
Yeah.
Any surf competition, even we never had that.
This is like you talked about it a couple of days ago too. I think you used the word historic.
Yes, I said it's an historical moment because it is an historical moment. We never had.
Broken
broken
paddle.
because we never had such standard, such event in the Middle East or any Arabic country. This is the Emirates Palace.
Wow.
So this is a 7-star hotel, and
7 stars?
Yeah, everything is in gold inside.
I didn't even know they had a 7-star level.
Yeah, it's it's one of the 7-star hotels, and everything is in gold inside.
Wow.
And part of the hotel is for the public, and
Yep.
part of the hotel for the government.
Mm.
So they use it when they have official, like your ex-president Mr. Bush, when he came, he came and stayed in the
Okay.
in the Emirates Palace. But this is a place you have to see before you go. It's
I
crazy.
hope I can see it.
It is crazy.
I mean, I've seen it just now on camera, but I wish I can go inside and,
And this
see it.
is
I would
one of
hope.
the first hotel in the country, the Hilton.
The Hilton.
This one, yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
the Hilton.
the Hilton.
They have the Hiltons everywhere, yeah.
This building has like 40 years old.
This is semifinal number 2. So these guys are battling for their final appearance. So the top 4 of these guys will be in the finals. And we'll see if we can have any of our local UAE paddlers make it to the finals, because that would be really cool to have at least a few representatives. And like Tim was saying, it's still a relatively new sport here, so this is part of the introduction process and the racing and everything, because you know the skills, you have the techniques now, but to see some of the best, like that man right there, Connor Baxter, performing on your local waters here, I think there's a lot to take away from it. And not to say that there's learning or teaching going on, it's just more of like, this is how people that do it on a serious professional level, this is their technique. And like you said, even these different waters, they demand different types of techniques
Exactly.
too.
Yeah, absolutely right. And for a local rider to compete against these guys, I mean, it's only beneficial.
It's very
because,
special.
Of course, when we said that we're going to do that, nobody believed it. They said it's a hoax, you know.
Yeah.
They thought that we are okay.
No way.
No way. You know, it's again one of these jokes which did not happen. You know.
Yeah.
And it happened. It happened. It happened. It's there.
And we're watching it live right now on the beach at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, right here across the Corniche. And there's Zane Schweitzer, there's Cody Kerbox, Remy Keek also, mixed in with a couple of UAE paddlers. But this is happening. There's the man made it happen right there. Also, Tristan Boxford in the foreground with the red hat, part of the Waterman League and the Stand Up World Tour. But talk about an open mind and a very visionary individual. Tristan is on the forefront of the sport and taking it to these new places. And part of the goal of the Waterman League was to take it to the 4 corners of the globe.
Yeah.
And coming out here, this is definitely a testament to his vision. And it's like you say too, people here were like not believing. Even people back home in Hawaii and the different places around the United States were in disbelief that we're really going to come here and do this. Yeah. So we're really blowing minds right now.
But this is I mean, it's not the target to blowing minds, but I mean, it's to
all to grow the sport.
Exactly. It's to offer to the world that we can, I think, all together practice the same sport everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You get a point.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's welcome to stand up paddle with us here. We have great places to go. We have nice restaurants,
I noticed
nightclubs,
some of the interior waters have like the trees and the mangroves.
This is mangroves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is funny because they can only be immersed by the water when it's the high tide, and sometimes it's totally dry, you know, and it's something it's something really nice to go. I mean, next time when you come, we'll take you to a private island here, and we'll go. It's
you guys are hearing that, right? It's on record. I'm going to the private island.
It's a private island, and
So you can't say, I never say that.
no, it's called El Futaysi Island. It's owned by by some people, and it's a zoo,
Wow.
huge zoo. Okay?
I'm an animal fanatic.
Really?
I love
And-
to see.
But there's no lions there and stuff like that. It's only like gazelles and springboks
I
and
love-
oryx and stuff like
I
that.
love all of those kinds.
And it's all in the mangrove. And you can paddle and you can see the wildlife animals, the eagles, the falcons.
See, and those
it's
kinds
really,
of birds
really,
of prey
really
too
nice,
are
yeah.
awesome to me.
It's
Those-
something to see. It's something to see, and we'll next time you guys come, we'll take you there. And,
Okay, like you said, we're gonna have to make a little bit longer trip.
yeah, I think it's important. Yeah.
And because it's it's small on a map, but it is a big place, and there's a lot to see.
I mean, you should go to Dubai, and maybe next year we can combine two races or two competition with
That-
other cities.
That would be cool.
It will be really nice.
Yeah.
And have a longer stay here. Yeah.
So it looks like Jamie Mitchell is in the lead for this semifinal number 2. He's got a pretty steady stroke going there, and Zane Schweitzer, the specimen, is right behind him. And yeah, you notice his body. He's really compact.
Yeah.
Good for the power surfing, but he's also got a really good paddle stroke for the racing, and he's always kind of in the top 6, in the races too. So. And that's one thing about stand-up paddling too, and the growth of the sport is that you do have those two different disciplines.
Yes.
You have the surfing discipline and you have the racing discipline.
Correct.
And it's so cool to be able to do two of the different things in one place.
Yeah, it will be great, and it might happen in Abu Dhabi. We have a new place which is just opening now, and when it's windy, we have waves about 2 meters high. So
It's about 6 feet.
It's 6 feet, yeah.
Yeah.
So if this place is ready, maybe next year we can do it there.
Yeah.
And in Alain as well, because we have to keep Alain. It's very important to keep Alain.
We need
for the-
Wadi Adventure.
yeah,
We need Alain.
exactly.
We need that venue. That's a very important venue.
Exactly, it's a key factor of the success of this event, because like you said previously, it's a unique place in the world, and what's coming in Alain in the next years, it's something absolutely. I'm not gonna say no, but it's incredible. I mean, nobody would have thought about it, but it will be a huge sport place for other unexpected discipline. Again, you see, we have the wave. Maybe we can have the snow now. You know, so you will see.
I heard a little bit about it too, and I was pretty blown away at what is on the menu for Alain and for the UAE, and I'm very much looking forward to
It's
meeting people like you and nice guys and really good hosts, so that I can come again and come again and come again and come again.
Anytime here. I mean,
and this is the girls' final right here,
this
Tim.
is finals. Yeah,
This could be a pretty close finish here.
So
Those
this
girls
is
are pounding.
Jen Scully on the left.
Yep.
Mansa on the 81,
Okay.
and All Stars shirts jersey is Olivia. No,
I think that's Olivia.
I don't know who's the number 40.
And you can see a little bit of the bowing of
You
the
see-
board
yeah, this is
that
what I'm
you
saying, no?
talked about the
Yeah.
inflatables, but that kind of all the boards are doing that. So it's a matter of who can handle it the best.
Exactly. I realized something in the paddling technique on long distance, for example, is that the upper body position, when you bend it, actually, in fact, you're losing more power when you keep it straight.
Yes.
Yeah, and this has to do with the length of the paddle.
Yeah.
You get a point?
Yeah.
Because you usually, this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Okay,
Right.
I mean,
This is what is your observation.
exactly. Since 7-8 years I'm paddling, and most of the time I'm not using my arms to paddle, but my
The core.
my core, exactly. And I never get tired. But if I start to use the shoulders and bending the upper body, I get quickly tired.
Well, and that's these are the
Maybe
the
for the
short-
sprints,
This is the short
exactly,
course.
yeah.
So that's you see the body moving a lot.
Yeah.
But when you start getting into the long distance,
something
you want
happened?
to conserve your energy.
Something happened.
Yeah. Something did happen. They're
Yeah.
stopping now.
I don't know why.
I think maybe they might do a restart. There's 5 of them there, 5 finalists. They're being closely patrolled and assisted by the patrol, by the water safety. I'm not sure if they
I don't know what happened.
Need to do a restart at the starting line, but looks like they're working their way back to the beach.
The wind maybe, I don't know. It looks like the wind picked up strongly, huh?
It looks like it's still, blowing steady, but doesn't look like it's out of control. They were looking fine.
Yeah, I mean,
going
to me they were
the way
fine,
they
huh?
were going. What kind of sea life is available in this little piece of waterway right
I'll
here?
get ready, man. We have orcas here.
Mhm.
Okay, like 15 miles offshore, we find orcas.
Orcas, like
Yeah,
killer whales?
the killer whales.
Wow.
Yeah, we got in the Corniche you find a lot of dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
We find as well some barracudas
Yeah.
and many varieties of fish. But diving here is not really nice because the visibility of the water is not really.
It's not as clear.
as clear. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you want to dive here in the Middle East, you have to go definitively in the Mecca of diving is Ras Mohammed in.
The island?
No, it's in Red Sea,
Okay,
Egypt,
okay.
Sinai.
Oh, okay.
This is amazing.
I did see some photos on, of course, the airplane magazines of
Yeah.
flying here and looking at,
But
things
you know
to
why
do,
they call
but-
it the Red Sea?
No, why?
Because the corals, okay, when you are in the air,
Yeah.
the corals they're red.
Yeah.
So they have red patches all
And you
around.
can see it
You can see it's red,
nice
so it looks
clearly.
like red. Yeah.
Wow.
This is why it's called the Red Sea.
But I did see a lot of live coral pictures that looked that were from somewhere around
Yeah.
in the UAE.
So you have to understand something.
Mhm.
You know, it's a very progressive country
Mhm.
and very wealthy country. So many people have artificial reefs.
Okay.
Okay, so they build artificial reefs in the sea,
Yeah.
and they go dive for their
Wow.
pleasure.
Well,
So they leave the artificial reef for years,
Yeah.
and it grows.
it grows,
Yeah,
the fish grow
exactly.
and repopulate
So
and reproduce.
yeah, so this is one because they have few natural ones, but many people who have private islands and stuff like that, you have hundreds of of artificial reefs.
And are there any sharks?
Yes, but small ones.
Small ones?
Yeah, yeah. They see you, they just
They swim away.
they run away. No, we never had any attack of.
Because Mohammed talked a lot about his family doing fishing, or himself.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
does a lot of fishing.
Yes, yeah.
And what is the are a lot of fish caught here that are eaten locally?
Yes, we have something called the hamur. I don't remember it's not the cod. I don't remember the name of the fish actually
right.
in English,
Mhm.
but they have a lot of fish here, and the fish is actually they eat every kind of fish.
Yeah, I think
and
I
shells.
saw that name on
Hamur.
one of our meals, and it was pretty tasty.
And the culinary food, the kitchen here is very mixed with Indian kitchen.
I did notice that too.
Very, very, very mixed, and it's pretty much tasty, you know.
It's so good.
yeah.
Every meal that we've eaten here has been just taste buds firing all around. Like it's very, very
It's a nice
eccentric,
nice mix.
and it's a great mix, and it's a good variety.
Yeah, you got the north of the. I don't know if the people can like imagine a bit the map of the Middle East. So you get Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
On the north of Saudi Arabia, on the boundary of the Mediterranean Sea, they got like Lebanese food with Greek food. So they have more or less the same style of food. Then you go down in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Qatar, UAE, and Oman, and they have a huge mix of food with the Indian food. And actually, one of the best food you would never try in your life, and very expensive, Iranian food.
Really.
It is something.
I gotta go snowboard and eat some Iranian food.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's
well, the only thing you have to know about if you go skiing in Iran, okay? It's a funny thing because of the religious stuff. So when
Yeah.
you go on the ski runs, okay?
Yeah.
There is a rope in the middle, okay? And the rope is divided. One side is the ladies and one side is the men's.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're not
Okay.
allowed to ski together.
Okay.
Okay.
All
But
right.
then after the ski, I mean everything is
normal.
Is normal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
All
in
right.
public, you cannot ski together. It's the same ski round, but one people on the right, one people on the left. You know, it's one of the particularities of of the country. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're only 80 kilometers away from.
Yes, 80 kilometers. Yeah, it's 80 kilometers from here and 100 and 200 kilometers from Alain. A bit more, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the girls, I think what happened is they were missing one competitor. Because now I see 6. So they had to track down one of our finalists and add her to the bunch. So now the race will be completed as normal, and we see a lot of our same girls that were in front.
So Olivia is number 1.
Olivia is got off to a great start. She's hitting the first turn right now. Looks like she's going to get some help from the wind on the turn, because it's kind of blowing at side wind, crosswind going out, and then they kind of get that buoy turn and get a little bit of help from the wind. And this is where it gets tricky with multiple paddlers passing by the buoy. One of the fun things about the sprint races that we've seen in the past is that you'll have sometimes when you hit the beach, they still have another length of sand to run.
Okay.
And so you'll have 6 paddlers and only 4 flags to grab.
Okay.
So they jump off their board and then they run and have to grab the flag. So it gets to be very exciting sometimes when they do those sprint races. But this one just more conventional. First one through the finish line is the winner, and it's marked by the Turtle Bay Resort flags. And looks like Olivia has got a good pace going.
Yeah, she has a good stamina. Oh yeah, there's another round.
Yeah, and she's going to be having to turn around another buoy. But back to what we were talking about, the female presence in stand-up paddling here. I think maybe possibly the next thing on your UAE sub menu, or one of the things you could maybe have catered to, is maybe we could brainstorm or find a way to reach out to more of the female population.
Yeah,
and I think it might even start with the kids, like you were saying, how the kids are so important.
Exactly. I mean, actually, the issue. I mean, it's funny. We have a lot of women, but they are in the yoga. You get a point.
Yeah.
I mean, there are 90% of them on the SUP yoga.
Yeah.
This is the thing we have.
Well, you got them halfway there. They're on the board.
Yes, yes, but they don't have the interest actually to go and stand up paddle and race.
So curious.
It's incredible. I mean, I tried even having like we have so many free sessions. For example, we give like free session for the people. No, I mean yoga is the one for the ladies, which is top priority.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Some pile-on boards
I think
right there.
This is the teenage girl Mansa on the back.
Okay.
And Jen, which you don't see anymore on the screen. Mm-hmm. Definitively, Olivia is winning, huh?
Yeah, and we have 4 girls already turned. I think the final home stretch, and then 2 girls heading out to the buoy, and looks like Jen. She was really in the mix at first, but maybe this second round, having to restart, might have burned a little bit of energy, but it doesn't seem to affect Olivia that much at this point.
I think it's all about fitness now, huh? Mm-hmm. It's only about that, resistance and fitness,
And there she goes, raising her hand in victory through the Turtle Bay flags.
Mansa number 2.
And is she a local paddler?
No, she's from Slovakia, I think, or Slovenia, She came specially from her country to do
for the race. Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's young. She's I think 17 or 18, something like that. Yeah. Well, young comparing to me. I mean.
Yeah, tell me about it. Me too.
So this is the Emirates Palace.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Yeah, that's a beautiful looking palace, and I notice a lot of the architecture has a lot of dome structures.
Yeah, this is typical from here. I mean, this is a typical Islamic style. It comes from the Ottoman Empire as well. I mean, when I'm talking about Ottoman Empire, is the Turkish Empire
Right.
just after the Roman. And as well in India, you got like if you look at the Taj Mahal,
Yes.
same thing.
That was a building that crossed my mind when I approached the Sheikh
It
Zayed
looks
Grand
like,
Mosque.
it has. It
I've
has
never
some
been to the
similarity.
Taj Mahal,
Yeah.
but I was so impressed.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest mosque in the world.
It is the biggest
yeah,
mosque.
And it's an incredible place to go with all the gold and all the things, and it's crazy, you know.
And the rug.
yeah, the
It
rug.
was
You see that?
huge. I feel sorry for the guy who's got to clean and vacuum that, but that must take a long time.
Well, they do that by night with a machine.
Yeah. It must take a few guys to do
I
it
think
too.
so.
So we're getting set for the men's final here at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, one of our excellent partners, our excellent sponsor, helping us bring this event to the UAE and Abu Dhabi, and also UAE SUP and Surf, a big part in getting this event here, along with the Waterman League, and of course Turtle Bay Resort is, Turtle Bay, I got to tell you,
Is it an area or it's?
it's the name of the resort.
Yeah.
And it's the only hotel on the North Shore. It was first built in 1971.
Okay.
Originally, they were going to try to build a gambling
Casino.
hotel there. But the owner, it actually comes as a bit of like a little bit of a scheme way back in the 70s that he thought his politician friends were going to legalize gambling, because right now Hawaii, gambling is not legal.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, you wouldn't think so when you walk around, and especially if you see during sports seasons.
Yeah.
But it's not legal. And in the 70s, the owner of Turtle Bay had this idea, or he was a developer, and he's going to build this resort out here, and his friends are going to legalize gambling, and it's going to, marriage up and make this gambling resort. Well, it turns out he had a hard time convincing, and of course the community
said no.
Was very much against it, and he had already started building the hotel.
Yeah.
And he kind of made the mistake of anticipating and building the thing first and waiting for the law to get passed. So it didn't get passed, and I would say thankfully, I don't think we need that to be legal in Hawaii, but it then just turned into a resort that was like a getaway from Waikiki. Because in Waikiki you have so many buildings.
Okay.
People that come to Hawaii like to enjoy the nice natural landscape.
Over there is like skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Like a normal American city.
Yes.
Yes.
So people that come to Turtle Bay, they come out there to enjoy the natural landscape.
Okay.
And recently, the new owners have been so instrumental in growing stand-up paddling there.
Okay.
They actually do stand-up paddling themselves.
Okay.
They're executive, VIP kind of guys.
Okay.
The previous owners before, they didn't even like locals. They didn't even like the surfers. They were on the North Shore but didn't like surfing. And you were like,
I understand.
How do you even think about that?
Okay.
So these new owners are very enthusiastic, and they're part of the reason why I'm here too. And they've been very open to the Waterman League having their base camp there now.
Okay.
That's where their headquarters is. And we've seen our stand-up paddle lessons and surfing lessons and just overall interest have been just booming. And the guests that come, they just absolutely love it.
Okay.
They go home wanting to get stand-up paddle boards and do it in their lake, in their river,
I understand.
wherever they're from. So Turtle Bay has been such a great partner for the sport in the last couple of years. And look at this final.
Yeah.
This is very tight, man. And these guys are so competitive.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
We got Connor Baxter out in front, no surprise. You got Jamie Mitchell, world champion prone paddler, now doing stand-up. Connor Baxter, he is a very lanky guy, just like Connor. He's got that similar style.
Yeah.
Zane Schweitzer's up there as well.
There's none a local there. It's all the stars.
And it looks like, it has been an all-star affair for this final heat.
Jimmy's good, huh? I mean, he's like...
Jamie's got stamina.
Yeah, he's got...
He paddles the Molokai Channel.
Oh, this is like 30 miles?
32-mile race.
Yes, exactly. I heard about
from Molokai to Oahu.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for a long time now, and he's won that race years in a row. That was Cody Kerbox's board going through the legs of Zane Schweitzer. Fernando Stala, the Mexican, also a fierce competitor.
Oh, he's cruising.
But
Look
Connor
at that.
is just on another level.
He's good in sprint, huh?
Yes, he's good in sprint. He's also good in long distance too.
As well, huh?
He does have the ability to conserve his energy and prolong his strength. It'll be interesting though. I think Jamie might even just be kind of cruising in the back and maybe make a late charge.
Yeah.
Could be interesting. And another part of the sport, of the racing part, that has been an issue of a little bit of controversy is, you know, when like in race cars when you're driving behind and you're drafting. Drafting has been an issue sometimes.
Seriously?
Where the guy will paddle right behind and sit right in his wake, and then at the last boom, make a pass, and you know, it's been it's now more looked
Zane
upon.
again, huh?
Yep, Zane is in third place. Connor in first, Jamie Mitchell in second, Zane in third. But it's been more of a gentleman respect now with the drafting, of recognizing that there is an advantage if you do. So the guys have been really good sportsmen about it.
I like these people. They're really nice. I mean, I was amazed by their attitude and behavior. They're really, really good. I mean,
And it's Connor Baxter. He's going to even carry his board up just for good measure, followed by Jamie Mitchell. So Connor takes gold, Jamie takes the silver, and Zane Schweitzer will be taking the bronze, third place. These guys are just winded, but you see the sportsmanship. And you see the camaraderie there. They are just so tired right now. Paul Jackson, Fernando Stala in there, Cody Kerbox. Looks like Noah Janela with the mask on. And let's see if we can see who that last one does. Benoit Carpentier coming in the final heat there. Matty Schweitzer congratulating all the competitors. Of course, his brother Zane. That's a great brotherly duo to admire and to look at. They got so much love and so much respect for each other.
Yeah, they're all together, huh?
Yeah, Matty's a very accomplished camera operator, and
he's nice,
and pretty much functions as his brother's main manager and confidant, as you can see there, giving him some love. And there's all of our racers just pretty much pooped right now on the beach at the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club here at the Corniche in Abu Dhabi. And we hope that you've enjoyed the action that we've showed you. We hope you've enjoyed the commentary by one of our locals here, Brother Tim of UAE Sup and Surf. Keep in mind that the sport here in Abu Dhabi and the UAE is growing exponentially. Tim, any final words?
But thank you for looking at us and enjoying this moment with us, and hope to see you next year in Abu Dhabi again. And I wish you a good time.
Once again, thank you to the Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club, UAE Sup and Surf, the Waterman League, Turtle Bay Resort, and all of our other great sponsors. It's been a historic time here in the UAE for stand-up paddling and for surfing as well. Mahalo to the Wadi Adventure crew for our surfing days, and we will see you next time. The Waterman League and the Stand-Up World Tour. I'm Rocky Cannon. Bid you a farewell and aloha.